What if the megalodon still exists? Recent discoveries have baffled scientists. In different parts of the world, traces are found that shouldn't have been left by an extinct creature. Imagine, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, a team of researchers is studying a sperm whale carcass. Huge jagged wounds look as if someone took a bite the size of a car. Scientists are trying to understand what creature could have left such marks, but there's a problem. No known shark has such power. Another strange discovery. Giant teeth found off the coast of Australia. They look too fresh to belong to a species that went extinct millions of years ago. Analyses showed the find is only a few thousand years old. It's impossible, but it's a fact. In the Bermuda Triangle, deep-sea vehicles are recording strange silhouettes. A huge shadow glides in the depths and disappears. Operators are sure it's not a whale, not a shark, not a submarine. Something much bigger, and this is just the beginning. The most amazing thing is, strange evidence continues to appear. And some of them are so frightening that it's hard to explain them with logic. Every year, ships, fishermen, and even large vessels disappear in the ocean. Some of them are found without a crew, with damaged hulls, and some vanish without a trace. A case was recorded on the coast of South Africa that still sparks debate. A fishing boat was found overturned. On board, there were traces of powerful blows, as if the vessel had fallen into the clutches of a giant predator. The fisherman disappeared. The only evidence of what happened is a radio recording from the vessel. In it, screams and a terrifying sound resembling a dull thud against the hull can be heard. In another case, a giant cargo barge in the Atlantic Ocean. The crew of a ship following the same course saw the vessel drifting in the sea. When they boarded, there were no people, only deep scratches on the metal and traces of something very heavy being dragged overboard. But what if all these incidents have something in common? Perhaps something is hiding in the depths that we can't even imagine. When scientists explore the ocean, they encounter the inexplicable. Underwater, there are moments when something enormous moves past the cameras. In the Pacific Ocean, a deep-sea vehicle captures something huge. The object moves slowly, but its size is astonishing. Bigger than a school bus. Experts study the footage and cannot identify the creature. Another incident in the Caribbean Sea. Oceanographers launch a drone into the depths. The camera transmits an image, and suddenly a massive shadow flashes against the darkness. It's so large that it blocks the entire view for a few seconds. In an instant, emptiness. There are also satellite images. They show something gigantic appearing in the open sea and then disappearing. Some experts claim that these are giant sharks. But such sizes are not typical for known species. If a giant predator still lurks in the ocean, it clearly knows how to remain unnoticed. But sometimes, just for a moment, it makes its presence known. The ocean provides scientists not only with strange videos and photographs that are hard to interpret, but also with various sounds, recordings of which make marine biologists question their old perceptions of the world. One of the strangest cases is a sound known as the bloop. It is a powerful underwater noise recorded in the 19th century. According to one theory, it could have been produced by a giant form of life. But the problem is that no known creature is capable of producing such a powerful sound. Other recordings are even more frightening. Off the coast of Chile, a low-frequency roar was recorded, which repeated at varying intervals. Scientists tried to compare it to whales, but the sound turned out to be more powerful and deeper. Another mystery is the sound burst in the area of the Mariana Trench. They resemble rhythmic thumps, similar to the echo of a massive object's movement. No known marine animal moves like that. If the ocean holds secrets, then perhaps it is trying to tell us about them. We just need to correctly decipher these signals. The megalodon is a true monster of the ancient seas. It was a giant shark, over 60 feet long and weighing more than 50 tons. Its jaws were so powerful that they could crush whale bones with a single bite. But the most terrifying aspect was the speed and power of this killing machine. The megalodon could accelerate up to 35 miles per hour. The water gave it incredible maneuverability, making it the perfect hunter. This predator dominated the ocean for millions of years. Its only enemies could be the largest whales. But even they couldn't always escape. And here's the main question. If such a creature could rule the ocean for so long, why did it disappear? Or perhaps it hasn't disappeared at all. There are places where people hardly ever venture. These are unofficial forbidden zones, regions where strange events occur, and research encounters inexplicable difficulties. One such area is the Pacific Abyss. It's a vast section of the ocean where ships are rarely seen. Ship disappearances are frequently recorded here, and those who make contact report strange messages. About flashes of light underwater, sudden vibrations, and moving shadows. Another mysterious region is the South China Sea. Here, fishermen often talk about encounters with something gigantic that suddenly emerges from the depths and disappears just as quickly. There are recordings showing how the water suddenly starts bubbling, and then complete silence. Official science explains this as natural processes. But why are the most strange phenomena recorded specifically in these places? What is hidden in the depths, where almost no one dives? If the Megalodon could have survived to this day, does it mean that other ancient creatures still exist? After all, the ocean's history had many giant predators. For example, plesiosaurs, giant marine reptiles over 65 feet long. Their skulls could reach the size of a car. They were no less fierce than the Megalodon. Another monster is the Mosasaurus. It was a true sea dragon up to 80 feet long. Its jaws were so powerful that it could bite sharks in half. Of course, officially these creatures went extinct millions of years ago. But if there are places in the ocean where humans rarely venture, can we be sure that the depths don't hide surviving descendants of these giants? Most scientists are confident that the Megalodon is gone. The main reasons, in their opinion, are clear. First, the temperature of the oceans changed. These giant sharks loved warm waters, but the climate changed, making it harder for them to survive. Second, there was a change in their prey. The Megalodon hunted giant whales, but their population also declined. Without food, even the strongest predator cannot survive. And finally, if the Megalodon existed, it would have been discovered long ago. After all, such a huge shark simply couldn't hide. Sounds logical, but then why do pieces of evidence appear that suggest otherwise? Many pieces of evidence of the Megalodon's extinction seem convincing, but there are details that make you think. For example, fresh tooth findings. From time to time, divers and scientists come across giant teeth that are only a few thousand years old. How is that possible? After all, if megalodons went extinct millions of years ago, these teeth simply shouldn't exist. Another argument is the rarity of discoveries. The ocean has only been explored a few percent. Many creatures thought to be extinct have suddenly been found in the depths. For example, the coelacanth, a fish that scientists believe disappeared hundreds of millions of years ago. But then, it was caught alive. If the coelacanth could hide from science, why couldn't the megalodon do the same? Military submarines were a rare source of information for scientists. These machines were equipped with the most advanced technology for studying ocean depths. And sometimes they recorded something unusual. Once, an American submarine, while traveling through one of the deep-sea trenches, detected an object. It was moving very fast, faster than any known fish or animal. The object was huge, but when the submarine tried to get closer, it disappeared. In another instance, strange sounds were recorded underwater. The sailors described them as a noise similar to the movement of something large. But what exactly was making them was never determined. The military rarely disclosed all their information. But if they indeed encountered something unusual, perhaps the truth about who really ruled the ocean depths was hidden in classified reports. Could the megalodon be just a myth? A misinterpretation of data? Or is there still a chance that it hides in the depths of skepticism? They say that all rumors about the giant shark are misinterpreted observations, such as basking sharks or giant males. Great white sharks, which can reach 20 feet in length, may appear much larger due to the refraction of light underwater. Another version is rare giant specimens. There are sharks that exceed the usual size of their species, and they are mistaken for something entirely new. But there are arguments that are not so easy to refute. For example, giant bite marks on sperm whales and traces of massive creatures on the ocean floor. If it's not a megalodon, then who? What if the megalodon not only survived but evolved? The depths of the ocean are a world where light barely penetrates. There, pressure, cold, and a complete lack of solar energy reign. But even in such conditions, life adapts. Some researchers believe that if the megalodon managed to adapt, it could have changed. For example, it might have become slower but more inconspicuous. Reduce speed but develop other abilities, such as the ability to see in the dark. There is another theory, radiation. There are zones in the oceans where increased levels of radiation are recorded, especially in areas of nuclear testing. Could these conditions have caused mutations in ancient creatures? If a new species is hiding in the depths, it might be even more dangerous than its ancestor. Why is so much information about the ocean depths classified? The military possesses extremely powerful underwater radars and acoustic systems capable of detecting movements over vast distances. But much of the data remains inaccessible to the public. There is a known case where military ships off the coast of South America detected an object moving at a speed impossible for known marine life. Scientists have not been granted access to these recordings. There are also rumors that submarines have encountered something gigantic. But there are no official reports on these incidents. If the depths conceal something incredible, perhaps it is already known. They just don't want us to find out about it. Many people think the ocean is well studied, but that's far from the truth. In fact, we know less about the depths of the ocean than we do about the surface of the moon. Humans have explored only a small portion of the world's oceans. Most deep-sea trenches remain virtually unexplored. Every year, scientists discover new species of fish, mollusks, and deep-sea sharks. Some of them look as if they came from another planet. If we are still finding unknown forms of life, why not assume that among them there could be giant predators that have gone unnoticed? Someday we will learn the truth. Each year, technology becomes more powerful. Underwater drones are already being developed that can dive to incredible depths and transmit images in real time. Moreover, satellite systems allow for the detection of large objects moving in the ocean. If the megalodon really exists, sooner or later it will be found. The question is only one. Are we ready for this discovery? The megalodon was a giant predator, but it had a serious rival, the leviathan. This is an ancient sperm whale that lived about 13 million years ago. Unlike modern sperm whales that feed on squid, the leviathan hunted whales. It was over 50 feet long, and its jaws were armed with teeth the size of a human hand, the largest among all mammals. Imagine a giant whale with the behavior of an orca, capable of crushing even the largest marine creatures. Some scientists believe that the leviathan might have been the reason for the extinction of the megalodon. But what if somewhere in the depths of the ocean, descendants of this predator still exist? After all, even today, whales remain not fully studied creatures. When talking about the largest mammals in history, people usually think of mammoths. But there was a beast much larger. Paraceratherium, an extinct relative of modern rhinoceroses, lived more than 20 million years ago. It reached 26 feet in length and over 15 feet in height, making it the largest land mammal in history. This giant weighed more than 20 tons. But unlike modern rhinoceroses, it did not have a horn. It was herbivorous, but its size made it practically invulnerable to predators. If such giants lived today, their presence would revolutionize our understanding of the animal world. Today, the Komodo dragon is considered the largest lizard in the world. But once, a much more formidable relative of it, the Megalania, roamed the earth. This ancient lizard reached 23 feet in length and weighed over 1,000 pounds. 500 pounds. It was covered in thick scales, and its jaws were filled with venomous glands. Megalania inhabited Australia and could even attack large mammals. Its bites not only inflicted serious wounds on its victims, but also poisoned their circulatory system, causing a slow and painful death. There are theories that Megalania became extinct relatively recently, just a few thousand years ago. And some claim that these giants can still be found in the depths of the Australian forests. After the disappearance of the dinosaurs, creatures emerged on Earth that tried to take their place. One of such monsters was the Titanobola, the largest snake that ever existed on the planet. This giant reptile reached 42 feet in length and weighed over 2,000 pounds. It lived in the warm swamps of ancient South America and hunted large freshwater fish, crocodiles, and even small dinosaurs. Titan, the boa, killed its prey by coiling around it and squeezing with such force that it crushed bones and stopped breathing. If such snakes existed today, any person would seem tiny in comparison. Scorpions scare many people, but once upon a time, creatures crawled along the ocean floor that could make anyone shudder with fear. Eurypterus is an ancient sea scorpion that lived more than 400 million years ago. It reached 8 feet in length, had powerful pincers, and a long curved tail capable of delivering venomous strikes. This giant inhabited seas and rivers, hunting fish and other marine creatures. Its body was covered with a shell that protected it from predators. Despite its ancient origins, its relatives are the modern horseshoe crabs. They still exist today. Could it be that in the depths of the ocean, even larger and more terrifying descendants of this giant scorpion are hiding? Thank you for watching, and see you again in the world of amazing discoveries.